one thing that I know for our students, a lot of them are familiar with Apple products, and they're familiar with how to use music through those Apple products, whether it's an iPod, whether it's their MacBook Pro, or their iPad. A lot of our students had experience with iPads. I did not have experience with the iPad, so actually this was an introduction for them and for me of how to create music using our iPads and using the app GarageBand. This project really allowed them to use their voice as an instrument, allowed them to use different apps, different tracks within the app. So there's a drum track, there's a bass track, and different other instruments that they can hear through this project. So not only does it expose them to music technology, but it also exposes them to different instruments that they can hear. So they hear what a string bass would sound like, and the difference between a string bass and an electric bass, and what type of timbre of sound that would produce for their project. So once they understand somewhat of the direction that they want to go in, they want to go rock, they know they have to use a certain bass line. If they want to do more mellow or more classical approach to it, they'll use the string bass. So but I love how they were able to be creative. I try not to put too many limitations and say, okay, too many restrictions. There were some borders for them so they don't go too far off the deep end. But they really took to the project, and they were, I guess, surprised at how successful they could be even without having any experience.
You just recorded their names, the teacher's name, and then you could add any loops you want first with like the drums and the guitars. So the drums is there, and then I added some acoustic guitars, and yeah.
So I didn't admit this to them, but really I didn't have a whole lot of experience using this GarageBand app or an iPad, period. So I went in a little sort of nervous and apprehensive to just diving into the iPads, but it really was a learning experience for all of us, and I think we all grew together and were surprised and shocked of how creative we all could be using these iPads. One thing that I loved is that some students were saying, well, can I work on this at home? And I'm like, yes, you can work on this at home. I mean, I'm not assigning any homework, but if that's what you want to do, then that's great. So these iPads were able to take my lesson with them at home into their houses with their families, and they were able to share their projects with their families. So one thing that I can say is some of the things that we do when I teach them how to play guitar, if I teach them how to play piano, they're not always able to take that lesson into their homes and share that with their families unless there's a guitar at home or unless there is a piano at home. But this iPad has been able to say, hey mom, look, this is what we did today. Hey dad, check this out. This is the project I made in Mr. Hunter's class. So that has been exciting for me because they're taking this home with them, and that's exactly what we want to happen. As any teacher, we want you to take what we're doing in the classroom back home and share it with your family. So not only are you learning here with me, but you can also teach your parents how to do this. You could teach your little sister how to do this. And so this whole technology is really catching on from the classroom to their homes, to different community activities, and that's the most thing for me that's exciting. So they can take what I'm doing with them and share it with whoever they want to. So that's exciting.
You can clearly hear the name. You have the track for the drums. You have the bass. This bass doesn't start until later for dramatic effect. Okay? So if you're thinking you're trying to create an intro to your song where the beat drops later, okay? You do not have to have all of it